Okay, he knows how I am. He knows that I am extremely miserable person, especially when it comes to my sports teams. So let's bring him on, my good friend Keith Irizarry joining the show. Happy Wednesday.
Hi, how are you? How's everything going today?
It's one of those situations, Keith, where you get all excited. Like everybody's so excited for the NFL tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just like all of my friends who love college football, they were all excited until about 4 p.m. on Saturday. And then they remembered that they hate their life. That's kind of what I'm anticipating.
Yeah, I'm in a good spot right now. The team that I, kind of grew up rooting for was the Super Bowl champions last year, so that helps. But also, Ariel, you and I have talked about this too. Like, I don't live and die with my teams. Like, I have certain players that I really enjoy watching. From doing what you and I do, we have certain people that we get to know in organizations that make us like certain teams a little bit more, or team or players a little bit more. So I'm not gonna here. Let's do a prop. I'm not going to pick up a remote control. I'm not going to throw it at a TV or anything like that. I'm going to follow the bets that I like. I'm going to hope that they hit, and I'm going to enjoy a little TV. Watch the sports that are out
The
there.
worst part for me is every football season, I go into it saying, I don't live and die by my teams. It's fine. I really don't. And then I do.
Yeah.
Every time. More so the Ravens, honestly, than the Yankees, because I really get annoyed with the way the Yankees do things. Whatever, it's another story for another day. The Ravens, just every year, they should be in it. They should be in a Super Bowl, and then they just never are.
All right, so do you let's bury the lead. I'm going to give you what I should end with here. By the way, I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if you like that or not.
It's a bad thing.
I'm
because
sorry.
You're going to be miserable, just like I have the last 3 years.
Yeah, but no. So I'm not rooting for the Ravens because I want them to win. I'll be rooting for the Ravens because I think they're going to win. If I look at their roster, if I look at all of the stuff, no. Yeah, but like if the Ravens lose, it would just mean I lose a little bit of money. If the Ravens lose, you are upset because you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, right? So that's where, like, I kind of think that's a good thing. If I'm sitting here siding with the Ravens, and I could tell you that I believe it's Lamar's year. I think that the receiving core is as good as he's ever had. I think the run game is going to be as good as any run game he has ever had. And I know that Derrick Henry was there last year and will continue to be there, but Keaton Mitchell, I think, is going to help out there. And I can go on and on and on. I think the offensive line is going to be solid. I think the defense looks like it's going to be even better than it was last year. And sometimes you have to take your lumps like they have. If there was ever, you and I were doing stuff on VSiN a couple weeks ago. If there was ever a year to pick off the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to be this year. And I know that the Buffalo Bills would like to have a conversation with us. And I know that the Cincinnati Bengals would like to have a conversation. All that stuff is fine and good. The Baltimore Ravens are the best team in the AFC, and I think this is the year they get through.
There are some other teams that you are high on this year. You've got a lot of nines here. You send me all these wins, and we don't need to go through all of them. You could go through the ones that you like the most. I just noticed when you send me your win totals, I'm like, oh, 9.5. 9.5. Why? Why 9.5? What's the likely number?
You know how like we talk about like key numbers in games? For me, 9.5 is a key number for a good team. And here, let me explain that to you. Because if you look at the really good teams, like the great teams, you probably think they're going to win 11, 12, 13 games. You look at the bad teams and you're like, all right, they'll be lucky to get to, 6 wins. You look at the middle teams, they're between 7 and 9. Then you look at the teams that you think are going to make the playoffs. Those are teams that should win 9 or 10 games. So that's why the 9.5 is the key number. Like the Buccaneers, I love them. Baker Mayfield is doing things that we didn't expect, right? Actually, only one other QB has more passing touchdowns than him over the last 2 years, Josh Allen, and more total touchdowns, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Otherwise, it's Baker's world, and we're all living in it. I think Ibuka is going to be a great addition to them. I like their defense. The Rams are good. We don't need to go into them. The Texans, I just think that division stinks. And for all I don't get the non-love for CJ Stroud right now. I know last year was a little bit down.
Well, he lost me my season-long player prop last year on his passing yards. But aside for that, other normal people might, feel different.
Yes, other normal people. I like it. But every wide receiver was hurt last year. Let's knock on wood and hope that doesn't happen this year. And then I think the Bengals are a fun one, whatever. The Broncos are the sexy one, right? And I think this is where you and I differ a little bit. I do think they're going to be a playoff team. I do think they get to 10 possibly even 11 wins. Their defense should be one of the best in the NFL. The run game is a question, and I'm not 100% sure whether or not the run game is going to be totally figured out, but I like everything else about this team.
The Bengals run D you're not concerned about?
No, the Bengals run defense I'm very concerned about. I was talking about the Broncos. Sorry, the Broncos.
No, I know what you meant. I'm saying, like, when it comes to the Bengals over 9.5 wins,
well,
you're not concerned about their defense?
Right, but all right, so how about this? The Cincinnati Bengals lost, what was it, the second or third most single score games in the NFL last year. All that has to happen is that flips by 2 and they're in the playoffs. And if they start the season off a little bit stronger than they have, they're in the playoffs. If Joe Burrow does all the MVP caliber things that he did last year, they're in the playoffs. If Chase, like, I know a lot of ifs and buts and all that kind of stuff. I know we can make fun of that. I don't see how they don't get to 10 wins, even with a bad defense.
Listen, everyone in the AFC North, there always seems to be 2 teams with 9 or 10 plus wins each season. I don't see it being Pittsburgh, and it's certainly not the Browns. So Cincinnati could surprise us. But what surprised me actually the most was that we have, out of the entire board, out of everything in the NFL prop market, we actually have one that we both are betting.
What do we got?
And that's Jalen Hurts over his passing yards.
Yes.
Why do you like your QB?
Because it's a good one. So last year, throws for 2,900 passing yards in what's a down year, but they go to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to lean on Saquon Barkley the same way. It's the same reason why I think you and I are lockstep with the under on Barkley's rushing yards as well. I look at Jalen Hurts, and previously in 2022 and in 23, he topped his prop number of this, of the 3,200 yards. I think he gets to over 3,200 yards. I actually think he gets to about 3,500 yards this year.
He had 3,800 the years prior to Saquon, and not that Saquon's obviously he's going to be there. Take the foot off the gas a little bit. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He's still an injury-prone running back. You could definitely throw that football in Philly with all those weapons. Joe Burrow has weapons too. He's got a much higher passing yards prop, but obviously Joe Burrow is a much more pass-heavy, 40-plus pass attempts kind of quarterback. So why over the passing yards? And I know he's the favorite right now to be the passing yards leader.
Well, I think it's because of track record too, because in his healthy seasons in 2023 and in 2022, topped this number easily, went 4,400, almost 4,500 yards, 4,600 yards passing as well. Last year goes for almost 5,000 yards, and nothing has changed on that offense. T is still there. Jamar is still there. Chase Brown is still there. The offensive line is the same that it was, whether that's good or bad. Like, everything is going to be the same. And for your point, if the defense is going to struggle, they're going to have to score points. And how do you do it? Joe Burrow is going to throw the ball around. Over 4,150 feels really good. I looked at the touchdown prop. I don't know. I'm not sure I love it. I think it was set at 33.5. It felt high. Like, he'll probably be right in that vicinity, but not something that I'd want to lock in for a futures bet.
Joe Burrow over pass attempts pretty much almost every game, especially up against a shaky secondary. 100% must play early in the season. Josh Allen, people are going to look at his rushing touchdowns, but you're looking at over his passing touchdowns. Why?
Because, again, track record would tell me that he's going to continue to be more of a passer. So if we just go through the last 5 seasons, it was 28, 29, 35, and 36 and 37, right? So it's all trending upward. He's running a little bit less. He's throwing a little bit more. So I think 27.5 feels really safe. He should probably get to about 30. I know there are some apps that you can jump on as well and bet like exact numbers for Josh Allen. I think one of them, like the first time you get into plus money, is to get to 30 touchdowns or more. Might be worth it.
He'll probably get some against my Ravens. Their secondary always starts out shaky and then figures it out down the stretch of the season. I think that game's going to be a shootout. Jamar Chase, most regular season receiving yards. I think he's second behind Justin Jefferson.
They're right neck and neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this, 6-1 value there is solid. Had over 1,700 receiving yards last year. This is about a value play, and this is about, direct correlation. So if we're going to tell a story of the season, or at least that I think we're going to do from a betting standpoint, if I'm going to go over on the win total for Cincinnati, then I'm going to give you an over on Joe Burrow passing yardage. why would I not have the direct correlation of an over or something like a high number for Jamar Chase? So let's roll with him to get the most receiving yards.
And lastly, in your props, Jared Goff. He's in a dome, so that helps. Last year, I remember loving his season-long passing yards prop, but was told to come off of it because it was like his enemy or something in Chinese astrology. So I didn't end up betting it, which I should have because he went over. When you're in the dome, nonetheless, you play a division with another team in the dome. Jared Goff to go over 3,900 and a half passing yards. Not bad.
Yeah, this is another one that, barring injury, feels like a layup for me. Over 4,400 passing yards in 3 consecutive seasons, and then he's topped this prop of the 3,900, so 3,901. He's topped it in 6 of his last 7. I know you could talk about a different offensive coordinator. I guess like that could be a thing. But when you look at Jared Goff, the track record, again, this is my methodology with all of this is I'm looking for proven track record here. The track record is he will throw the ball around. He's got wide receivers. And if Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be used more in the passing game, like those little dump out passes to him for 2 yards that then go for 22, that's going to help your number a lot.